Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And we are live. Let's fix up the mic. Let's get the mic right. Make sure that my mic sounds right. Okay. So, you are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi. And today, we're looking at the Jake Paul. Is it Jake Paul? Yeah, it's Jake Paul and Ben Askren. And I had no real desire to watch this Shiznix. Didn't even really talk about it. I don't think I talked about it once. Had no intention to watch. I was getting sick and tired of these celebrity. I didn't even know this cat. I didn't even know the Jake Paul and the Logan Paul. I don't know the difference between them. I actually had this written up as Logan Paul, but he's the brother. I think he's the older one. Okay. I had no intention to watch, but I don't know. I think something popped up. Something popped up in my notifications, and boom, boom, boom. I was hooked. I had to go and check it out. I had to go and have a look. I had to go and have a little looky. And what am I doing here? And what I saw prompted me to go ahead with and talk about this Shiznix. I had to talk about this Shiznix. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this darn thing because it was a 1-round knockout. And I've said previously that Jake Paul, is it Jake Paul? I think Jake Paul, he's the one that wants Conor McGregor, yeah? I said that Jake Paul would spark KO Conor McGregor. And that certainly raised a few eyebrows. But I didn't think, but anyway, that's a debate for another time, or maybe later on after I've reviewed this Shiznix. Had to have a look, had to talk about it. Okay, so let me get this thing queued up. Is it queued? Yeah, that's queued up nicely. Let me move that along. And let me do the sound check. Is it queued? Yeah, that's queued up. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so that is good. That is good. What else are we doing now? Okay, let's get the screen right. All right. So where are we? What are we looking at? Okay, so let's get straight into this Shiznix, and it didn't start very well. For Ben Askren. When actually, let's listen to this. Let's. First of all, what we got here? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, we got the Light and Evelyn up in the building. Rafi's right here. Where are you? Boom, boom, boom. The Iron Kong up in the building. Good day to you, sir. Okay, so let's get, link is in the chat. Let's get into this. Shiznik, and it didn't start too well for Ben Askren. Listen. Uh-oh, what's going on? Okay.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black and white and weighing in officially at 191 pounds. He's a two-time Big Ten champion in wrestling, two-time NCAA champion in wrestling, a 2008 Wrestling U.S. Olympian, and as a world-famous mixed martial artist has a record of 19 victories with only 2 defeats. From Hartland, Wisconsin, USA, Funky Ben Askew.
OMG. So straight away, what's the announcer's name? What's his name? Yeah, Bruce Buffer or whatever, one of the buffers, called Ben Askren Ben Askew. OMG.
From the Buckeye State of Ohio, but now living, training, and fighting out of Miami, Florida, USA, the undefeated digital superstar Jake the Problem Child Paul.
Okay, so 2-0. What do they call him? The digital superstar. The digital superstar, Michael Buffer. Big Boys Boxing joining us. Touch it up, let's go. What the hell happened there? I thought someone fell over. OMG. That's not healthy. What's going on here? What's going on? Have I started yet? Here we go. OMG. OMG. And they're off. I ain't feeling that nothing. Snoop Dogg was on the mic. Absolutely hilarious. I wasn't sure about this shiznix, but hearing Snoop Dogg and hearing the guys chop it up. Nice overhand right from deceptive power. And Ben Askren runs in with his lead hand out. I don't know what the hell that's all about. That's not boxing. That's just taking away one arm from where it should be, protecting your jaw. Referee pushes them back. Then we're a minute in. Jake Paul got his low hands, but got a good boxing stance. Ben Askren lunges in and gets popped in the temple with the right hand. Boom. Big left hook. Kind of jab. That was a jab. He's kind of got a jab hook. Jake Paul goes to the body. That's a right hook to the body of the soft body. Oh, big left hook from Jake Paul. Jake Paul. And then one to the body. Another big left hook. No, that was the right hook from Jake Paul to Askren. Nice jab. Askren takes two left hooks and a right hook just glances past. Now the next right hook knocks him out. He's knocked out. He's down. He's getting up. He's getting up. I'm trying to talk over Snoop Dogg with his, what he's saying. But I'm trying to mute this. I'm got to mute this. The referee's pushing Jake back, and then now he just waves it off. Ben Askren gets to his feet. The referee buys Askren more time by telling Jake Paul that he's got to be perfectly in the corner. He's got to be perfectly in the corner. Oh my gosh. The time I choose to unmute it is when damn Snoop Dogg does what he says. Oh my gosh. It was pandemonium ringside. And remember, I'm the one who told you. I'm the one who said that Jake Paul would KO Conor McGregor in a boxing match. And people gave me the side eye. But I'm telling you, I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Jake Paul knocks out Conor McGregor in a boxing ring. OMG. Absolute pandemonium in the ring. Oh my God, I gotta mute this shiznix. What, damn it. Snoop Dogg still don't know how to talk without cursing, damn it. Can't even have him on. Can't have him on the RDCR. OMG. OMG. Madness. I didn't even bother watching the damn shizzle. And when I get up in the morning, I know a lot of people waited up over here. And I heard that it took a long time for this fight to come on. There's Jake Paul. Everybody standing around saying, wow. Snoop Dogg making the damn thing hilarious. Oscar Mayer. What? No. What am I saying? What am I thinking? This was Triller. And the commentary team, absolutely hilarious. And the fight itself, absolutely hilarious. Complete and utter pandemonium madness. made me laugh. And in comes our man from the Caribbean. It's the Iron Kong. Oh my gosh, I think we're gonna see it now. Boom! OMG. OMG. What's this?
What's up, Rafi?
God, what's crack-a-lacking? What's going on?
Hey, all good, man.
Oh gosh. I should have made bed the people another half a second, but you know, the copyright issues it can't take. We gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with that shiznix. Iron Kong, talk to me.
Hey, what's up, man? Just watching that debacle of a fight. That fiasco of a fight.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the more clips I started seeing from the whole night, I'm like, man, that was, I mean, people drunk and high at the table. It's just, everything was just so wrong and so right about the show, right?
I'm a fan. They made a believe out of me.
Bro, I mean, everything was so wrong about the event and still
you know what it was?
right.
You know what it was like? It was like a bunch of crazy YouTubers. It was like they gave a contract to a bunch of crazy YouTubers to do a show, a TV show. And then they said, well, yeah, let's get Logan Paul. Let him fight a UFC guy. Damn, the screen looks nice. Anyway, let him fight a UFC guy. Get Ben Askren, a wrestler. You know, get him in there. Get Cummings. Get Cummings in there. Why Cummings? I don't know, man. Why not? He's an ex-opponent to Fury, and let him fight Frank Mir, a guy who's past his sell-by date like about 15 years ago. So let him
Steve Cunningham.
Steve Cunningham. And let him fight Frank Mir. It was absolutely a hodgepodge. And get who should we have on the mic? Let's get Snoop Dogg. Let's get him on the mic. Let's get him some of the best California product that money can buy. And let's let him fill their boots. And then let's go live. OMG. Leighton Evelyn is up in the building. Leighton, talk to me. How you doing, my friend?
What's going on, Raf? You all right, bro?
Yeah, man.
I seen that performance last night, mates. And the only way to put it is like, how could you have a TV studio with people like that? And it's like Tiz was, and the kids have took over the set. It was crazy. Crazy. I know the FBI didn't bust it when there's weed all day long going everywhere. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, I'm like you, was it right though? Was it wrong? I don't know. I just don't know whether to say it was good or it was bad, mate. You know what I mean? I've never seen nothing like it. Never. It's nuts. And Oscar the lawyer, he was off his head, mate. You know what I mean? It was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Hey, you had Colombia's finest on deck.
But I don't know if it's my mate, if I like it or I don't like it, Raf. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how to judge it. I've never seen nothing like that in my 45 years. I've never seen nothing like that in my life, mate. Do you know what I mean?
It was a comedy of errors. It's like they got a bunch of mad YouTubers and gave them a budget and said, listen, you got a budget here, it's like about 10 mil. Go ahead. We trust you. Don't let us down. We trust you. Don't let us down. And,
but Raf, I want to say a shout out to my mate Liam Williams, mate. He made all Welsh proud. All Welsh proud. So we're tough people. A nation of 3 million people. That's all we got here. He's a tough dude. He trust me. He represented Wales lovely, mate. I got to shout that out.
He did well, and I knew you was gonna shout that out. That's why it's always good to see you. But I thought, yes, Leighton's in the building after what Liam Smith did last night, and we're gonna have to talk about it with Leighton, the fellow Welshman, in a moment. As Iron Kong come back, but in the meantime, we just gotta chop this shiznix up.
I'm here. I'll just unmute. I'm here.
A good man.
Yeah. What's up, Leighton?
What's up, bro? You all right?
Yeah,
all
man.
good.
Nice. Okay, so we gotta chop this up. They gave Snoop Dogg California's finest, and it looks like they gave Oscar De La Hoya Colombia's Colombia's finest export. Okay, but before we continue on, let me go into the chat so we can talk about that crazy night, that crazy fight. What's going on here? Ben was toast. Ben Askren was toast, but was still an early stoppage by the ref, in my opinion. Well, the reason I say it wasn't an early stoppage, and as a matter of fact, we have the power of technology. So why don't we go ahead and use?
Nah. Rafa won early stoppage. When he hit the floor, his legs lifted in the air. He was going to get knocked out even harder the second time round. The ref let it go on.
Well, you know what? We're going to have to do a little bit of an analysis of that. We're going to have to talk about that. Was that an early stoppage? Okay, so it looked all fine. It looked fine. The commentators had me creased up. They said that Ben Askren had the shape of a bag of milk. And I thought, wow. I remember when the UFC had Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg didn't say it was one of the other cats. I don't know which one. But they had a contract. Snoop had a contract with doing some kind of sideshow for the UFC. It was one of their internet shows, and people were up in arms. They're saying, Snoop, who is he? Who is he to talk about the fighters like that? Because, you know, Snoop was talking like how Snoop talks. And you know what? I don't think he's with him anymore. They took that show off him. He had all types of people like, what's that cat's name? Brendan, ex-fighter. Brendan Schwab. Brendan Schwab went in heavy, said, who is Snoop? He's got no right to talk about the fighters like that. We went in there and, you know, we trained hard. We sweat blood for this game. And you got Snoop Dogg coming in and talking about this. You know what? Shut it. Shut the Keiko. Snoop Dogg was hilarious.
I feel the same about Brendan Schaub even when he talks about MMA. Brendan Schaub is an absolute idiot, mate. Brendan Schaub, you know, is the archetype for what someone would call a big dumb jock. Even when he talks about MMA, I don't want to hear from Brendan Schaub. And when he starts talking about boxing, oh my God.
Do you hear the stuff he's saying about Joshua?
Oh yeah, it's terrible, bro.
Ridiculous.
Terrible. The guy don't know what he's talking about. Don't have a clue. He don't have a clue what he's talking about in boxing, and he don't have a clue. He's a terrible stand-up artist. He's just
and he wasn't even that good. He wasn't even that good in the UFC.
No,
he wasn't good
at all. He wasn't good at all. Brendan Schaub is a hilarious character, and I'll tell you why. Because you know what? Brendan Schaub came into the UFC, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And he went in the house whenever they started that thing, that tough thing, you know, the tough show. Ultimate Fighter. He came in at the Ultimate Fighter time. And believe you me, guys, that's around that time. Listen, you could pick a number of guys from every gym around the MMA world. My gym, every gym from every country. And because the level wasn't super high at that time, if you had basic boxing, basic wrestling, you were good enough. And I'll be honest with you, Brendan Schaub was not good at anything. I'm saying it. He was not good at anything. He wasn't a good wrestler. He was a terrible boxer. He was a mediocre kickboxer. He was mediocre at everything. And he's just a lump, Raf.
He was just a lump. That's all he was.
He's a lump.
That's all he was.
He's just a lump, and not particularly good lump either. So for Brendan Schaub to be getting on his high horse talking about Snoop Dogg's got. Listen, man, Snoop Dogg was brought in for comedy, and I think right here, Snoop Dogg proved that the UFC were on the right track, but they listened to imbeciles like Brendan Schaub, and they got rid of him. But now Triller have got him. And you know what? I think it is comedy. It is hilarious. It is hilarious, and it is comedy. And you know what? I think there's room for it. How many times have we? How many times have we had to sit through garbage cards? Pure boredom, at least. If they have some cards with names in, some curiosity, some weirdness. This is like the circus. This is like The circus.
You only got to listen to like Johnny Nelson, his comments, mate. They're so far-fetched, they're ridiculous. And you want to smash a teddy and you're like, listen, mate, you know what I mean? You haven't got a clue. But with this new idea that's coming out now, it's crazy, mate. It's crazy. But I think I like it. I really do think I like it. You know what I mean? In a sick way, like I think I like it.
I like it in a twisted way.
They're gonna shut it down. They're gonna shut it down, mate. I don't know how they're not gonna shut it down, but they're gonna shut it down. I guarantee you, mate.
The commentary, like I said, it's like a bunch of ne'er-do-well YouTubers got a $10 million budget or a $15 million budget, let's say 10, and they're just given free reign, and they came up with this, and I wouldn't stay up to watch it, but you can be damn sure if they keep the curiosity, if they keep the madness going like they have done, I'll catch it in the morning.
Raph, I come home from a night shift last night and I watched it, put it on the 5 6, on the 5 6, start watching it. My mouth was open all night, mate. I couldn't believe it. Like, I've never seen nothing like it. I was like, they can't do this. This ain't real. It was real, mate. You know what I mean?
Everything was mad. Everything was mad. Now let me see if we can. I don't even know if we got a slot. We can do this in slow-mo. I don't think we can do this in slow-mo. It's going to be real fast. Oh, that's not even it. What the hell? Boom. Oh, lordy. So it pushes Jack back. 7, 8, 9, 10. Must be 10 already. What's he doing? 15, 16, 17.
Watch his legs raise when he falls to the floor, Raph. Or his shoulder.
Well,
you have a shoulder.
Well, here's the thing. It's been like 17 seconds later, and Askren still ain't right. He still ain't right. Look at his hands there. He's got his hands up. He's looking at the referee and he's walking. Let's see the walk. Let's see. Oh, they cut away.
Nah, the second knockdown would have been brutal. And that's how you get stuff shut down then, isn't it?
He was out. He's out on his feet. As far as I'm concerned, Ben Askren there is out on his feet. He's out on his feet. He can't even turn around. He's out on his feet. He's going through the motions right there. He's out on his feet.
And like you got to think back, was it a minute, 2 minutes in? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
He would have got hurt bad if he would have carried it on. He would have got hurt
badly. I think that was a great stoppage. It looked early, but I think it was a great stoppage. Let's catch the.
But Raph, what does this say to the advert of UFC? And it says like a contender who's supposed to be high up in there can get beat up by a YouTuber, making everyone think, hang on, what are these UFC fighters? They're not nothing.
Well, it's not just down to the UFC, because Ben Askren is a decorated wrestler, highly ranked wrestler.
Bellator champion.
Yeah. Bellator champion for years.
This makes you think like.
Well, the thing is this. There's a lot of cockiness with MMA. I mean, and I left boxing for like 15 years, and focused strictly on MMA as a student in the dojos, doing it for 10 to 15 years. And but there is a cockiness. Even though I love it and I think it's great that you broaden your skills, you know what to do when you know what to do if you get taken down. You can take somebody down. You know what to do when you're on the ground. That's why you study jiu-jitsu, not just wrestling and jiu-jitsu. You know how to hip toss somebody. That's why you study judo. It's just an all-consuming, beautiful series of arts to learn. But here's the thing: some people get cocky. Some people get cocky and think if you're trying a little bit of MMA, then you're the bee's knees. But no, because somebody who's training boxing day in, day out.
That's what I'm going to say, Rap.
I'm sorry, they got better hands. They got better hands. They got better hands. So if you go into, when you have an MMA guy go into pure boxing, it don't work out well. It just does not. Rap. And that's why I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've got my money on this fella here, Jake Paul, knocking out Conor McGregor. They laughed at first. Are you laughing now?
But Raph,
straight boxing.
what I say to you there is like, listen, this guy ain't a boxer. Clearly, we all know that. But he must have done some type of training to learn how to survive. Because like when you go to the MMA stuff, that goes to street. Anyone should know how to street wrestle or whatever. You should know. You're not going to be high level. You're not going to be high level, but you should be able to defend yourself. But if he's professional, he's a professional martial art, right? He should be able to. I know, I'm not lying to you, Raph. I'm not being big. I believe you and I would have lasted longer than 2 minutes in that ring.
100%.
You know what I mean? That's 100%. What I'm trying to say to you. But this guy
100%.
is a professional athlete, and he didn't last
100%. Even now, the basic fundamentals: keep your hands up, up, slip the jabs, come under to the belly. You could listen. Even now, you and I would have done better than Ben Askren. Straight,
and that's the craziest part about it, because this guy is a world renowned athlete. He's supposed to be a professional athlete. Come on, bro. What the hell? What the hell?
It's crazy. And I'm not ishing on the women's game, but it reminds me of the women's boxing. It reminds me of women's boxing. It's so much in its infancy. That's why I told you the story before. When they was doing tough, you could have gone to any gym in the world and picked 2 guys out and replaced any guy in that house with those 2 guys. That's the level that it was at.
Because I find tougher people in the pub. Do you know what I mean? I found tougher people in a pub who can fight these people. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. If they give them tough guys a bit of training, a lot of training, and they'll come. You could throw them in. I mean, that's not even basic boxing. Ben Askren does not have.
That was not basic. That was not basic. He came like a 1920s boxer. His stance was like 1920s, mate.
That's what Snoop said. It's true. It was shocking. The level of that thing. I'm telling you, some amateur 14-year-olds would have done better than that. 14-year-olds. I'm telling you. 100%,
Ralph. That's why,
I'm telling you,
it makes me think, like, what the hell is going on in the UFC? Are these fighters as good as they are? Are these MMA fighters really as good as they are? They may be super fit and all that, but are they really as good as they are?
I'm telling you, man. Some of them in the pure boxing, some of them have terrible hands. It's only because they get to mix it up with the wrestling and the fear of the takedown that get people kind of second guessing, and then they can throw an overhand and good things can happen. But it was basic.
He wasn't even protecting his face. He had his hands out like a meeting in front of him. Like,
that was not even basic boxing.
You know what I mean?
That wasn't even basic. That wasn't even basic boxing. It was subpar. It wasn't even basic. What's going on here? Why is my screen gone all kind of weird? Okay, that's better. So what am I gonna say? That's right. As far as the takedown, as far as the stoppage was concerned, big boys. Now I think it was perfectly timed. Ben Askren was going to get badly hurt. He was out on his feet and he was going to get badly hurt. And I think the referee did the right thing. Was it a bit soon for us? Would it have been a bit more of an amazing spectacle for us if the ref let it go on? Yes, it would. But I reckon he'd have got taken out in the next punch, really and truly. Really and truly. What's going on? Dana White owes Snoop Dogg. I don't know if you're joking or you're serious. But did he not?
They had a 2 million bet on that. They had a 2 million bet on. He's right.
Wow. Are you being serious?
Yeah. Dana and Snoop Dogg bet 2 million. When it happened, Snoop Dogg was shouting out, Dana, where's my 2 mil? Dana, where's my 2 mil?
Yeah. Wow. Dana White, Snoop Dogg. Hold on. There's something here. Ben Askren once called, "No one is safe." Hold on. There it is. Let me open this up. Dame. Iron Kong. What's going on? Let's have a look at this. Let me bring this up. Stop that. Share this. And we should have, hey presto. Boom. Let me have a look at this. Let me have a looky. Show me the mo night. Snoop Dogg appears to win 2 million bet with Dana White, thanks to Jake Paul knocking out Ben Start a GoFundMe worth more than my purse, and I'll choke out Jake Paul. Choke out Jake Paul? Who said that? Ben Askren must have said that. Okay. So Snoop Dogg is waiting on a $2 million windfall from Dana White. Thanks to Jake Paul, the YouTuber moved to 3-0 as a professional boxer with the first round knockout of Ben Askren, much to the dismay of UFC El Presidente Dana White, who was so confident in Askren that he claimed that he was willing to bet $1 million on him winning. Okay, there's Jake Paul. Based on the caliber of fighters Askren has faced and beaten in his previous career, White was quite rightly predicting a win. It wasn't right though, was he? Let's have a look. But it took the 24-year-old around 70 seconds to finish the former MMA star and made his move with a left jab to set up, followed by an overhand right to the temple. Yeah, it was a temple shot. Askren did get to his feet in time for the count, but was clearly still wobbly. He was wobbly before he even got hit. I mean, damn. I mean, wow. Don't look like an athlete. I know looks aren't everything, but holy hell. Something ain't right with Ben Askren. You can't tell me that everything's right. There's something ain't right with his nutrition. Okay, I accept he trains, but surely the nutrition's wrong. You can't look like that after a full training camp, surely. So what was this here? In an Instagram video prior to the fight, Snoop Dogg, on hand to provide entertainment on the night, was willing to match White's bet. Hey, Dana White, I see you. I see you got faith in your boy, right? Going up against my guy, Jake. You say you got $1 million. You're a CEO of the UFC, man. You got more than $1 million. Put up $2 million and we'll match it. Come on, Dana. What you waiting on? What did Dana say? Did Dana say, well done, your money's good? Hold on. Your money's good. Yeah, I got Jake. Fight night. There's Dana. It's not clear whether Dana White, a notorious gambler, will pay up or if he ever actually accepted the bet. But Snoop seemed
I think there's a video out there, Raph, of Dana saying, he would do it. I'm sure there is, Raph.
But Snoop seemed to believe he had won, screaming the sum of money repeatedly. Paul then joined him in a commentary booth to continue his celebration. And once he had spoken, Snoop screamed, "Where's my money at, Dana? Where my money at, Dana? Where my money at?" Wow. What's one of these?
Because I think it was more Dana, like, there's no way he's going to beat an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Dana was all bravado with that. And that's what I think cost him $2 million, bro. Do you know what I mean?
OMG. I know Dana's got a serious gambling habit. Stories of him gambling in casinos. I think there's a big story. There's a story back in the day, probably going back 8-10 years, where Dana stopped using a particular casino for the UFC because he had a beef with them about some gambling debt he had with them or something. And he stopped using them. So basically he let his personal gambling habit get in the way. He mixed that up with the UFC business, and that was a big talking point back in the day.
Let's be honest, Raph, to him that's like losing a tenner, bro. Do you know what I mean? So here's minor.
I've passed through a couple of casinos in my time, and people with a lot of money, something, as much money as they might have, they don't like to lose money. That's what I've observed. They don't like losing money, mate. They might be rich, but they don't like losing money, mate. Rich people, a man with more money in his pocket than you is likely to be stingier than you.
They always are. That's why they got money. I mean,
that's right.
They're tight as ass. Like
they're tight. They're tight. The doc's ass,
this
mate.
Is more with Dana. I think this is more a UFC fighter has been beaten, so he's making a UFC look weak. You know what I mean? Trust me. He'll be feeding UFC fighters. You'll be having Tyron Woodley's fighting him next. You'll have John Jones is fighting him next. Someone's coming to fight Jake Paul, mate. You know what I mean?
Damn, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's legal over there. Progress destroying Red Catch. I didn't see it. I haven't seen the full card. I haven't seen the full.
Raph, you've never seen nothing like it, bro.
I'm gonna watch it.
The guy chucked the punch, right? Progress chucked the punch, and his wrist actually caught him in the kidneys. His wrist. It was his wrist.
Wow.
So his punch was behind. But Red Catch fell down like his nuts with it. Oh, mate, it was like, what? And they showed the replay, and it's like, what are you doing? He stayed down on a stretcher, mate. Oh, it was shocking. Even Snoop Dogg played back the replay and said that was a legal blow. That wasn't illegal. Oh, it was embarrassing, mate. Embarrassing, proper embarrassing. When his missus rubbing him and all on the side to make, mate, it was shocking. Shocking.
This kid left the ring in a stretcher, I believe.
On a stretcher, mate. On a stretcher. it was a wrist. It was like the wrist punch come round. Punch, but the wrist hit the side of the kidneys rather than the glove, and he fell down like pretending it was his balls. Oh, mate, he's shocked. He just took his payday. But the sad part is he put it as no contest. Do you know what I mean? It's a no contest.
Oh, that's horrible. I heard Regis Progress is contesting that. He's contesting that. He's appealing.
I wouldn't know, mate, because it was a legal blow. It was nothing wrong with it. It was a punch to the side, and he dropped down. Yeah, you've seen it, Iron Kong.
Yeah, I was on to the one kid told me about it because I really saw Regis complaining that it should be not a KO win for him. So after 1-2 kid told me about it, I go, look, I'm like, Red Catch wanted to quit. This man is rolling around on the ground, screaming and hollering.
He was getting beat up. He was getting beat up, mate.
Get his ass kicked. Quit, man. Get out of here, man, please. It's a whole mess.
Quit. Damn.
The whole event was so strange.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that, mate.
Hey, I've heard so much about it. I've actually gone live early so I can watch it after this. I've heard so much about it.
I mean, you got Oscar here talking about how some dude has a good body, and I'm like, Oscar, what are you, man?
Who was the guy? Who was the guy on the commentary table who said they should kiss?
Oscar.
Hey, Oscar was off his head. He was definitely off his head.
I heard he was on Colombia's finest.
5 o'clock in the morning in better states than him. Like, do you know what I mean? It was shocking me.
Snoop calling the roof the poo poo. Oh dear. Yeah. Snoop was coming with the jokes all night long. The majority
Snoop had it going, mate. Snoop was the one that kept the place going. Like, it was just nuts. It was nuts.
It was like having a comedian on the panel, and I liked it. I'm never gonna sit up. I'm never gonna sit up.
I like Snoop.
What time did you get home? What time did you start watching it?
I got home about 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock last night. And
okay. And what time was the main event? Do you remember? What time the main event came on?
About 3-4 o'clock. I was finished by 5. It was for about 3-4 o'clock.
That's not the worst. That's not the worst. That's not too bad. That's pretty. That's okay for what we used to.
But it was all like rap. It was loads of music. Justin what's his name? Not Timberlake. Justin Bieber. It was all these Cat DJ. I was like, all right, I'm entertained. I can see all this, but it was slow dragging out. But
that's why I couldn't watch it live.
Everyone who was comfy was pissed. They were all drinking. It was nuts. I said to God, nuts.
I think there's a place. In the game for this thriller. How many times have you sat through boring cards? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather sit through this than some boring cards I've seen. But I wouldn't sit through it. I'd just watch it the morning after.
The more I think about it, I think this is the way forward, because you'll get in the youth, you'll get in everyone, you'll grab everyone in who's going to get late at night, because you've got to think about it. For us in the UK, to stay up to 4 or 5 o'clock, come on, bro, you've got to be like, do you know what I mean? It is. You're not asking for normal tea time people, you're asking for late time people over here, and I think it's going to work, bro. I think it's going to work.
Well, I'm not saying this style should replace the normal style, but as an addition to what we currently have, I welcome it. It's crazy.
Listen, I'd be devastated at my prime time over here, UK time, if I'm having like Adam Smith smoking a joint and all that. No, I'm not tuning in, mate. You know what I mean? But at 4 o'clock in the morning, I can understand, and that's what trust me. It worked.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Jake Paul versus Tommy. Nah. I say forget that. Tommy Fury should stick to his boxing and build himself up. It ain't about giving a leg up to a new prospect. This is about fighting experienced combatants. That's who I want to see him. I want to see him against Conor McGregor, not Tommy Fury. Forget that.
Because Raf, one of Jake Paul's team was saying, like, they were asking about Tommy, and he was saying, no. Because at the end of the day, Tommy ain't going to earn these wages without Jake Paul. Tommy's just looking for a payday, mate, to beat him up.
Yeah, he's just looking for a payday.
He's not like that. And if Jake's going to get beat up, he wants to get beat up by a superstar, don't he? Do you know what I mean? So
100%. I think that's the model, and that's what he should stick with. Tommy can build his name by beating boxers. Yeah, this is a celebrity thing. People who have established themselves in the combat sports for many years.
I don't know about boxers because I heard last time I beat the people, the bins won't get collected for a couple of weeks because there was plenty of bins in my work. That's what I mean.
I want to see him against Conor McGregor. I said it. People thought I was nuts. But hey, I'm telling you, this boy here, this what I see with my eyes. This boy Jake Paul, he can beat some more MMA guys up.
I think he's a lot bigger than Conor McGregor, though, isn't he?
He's a cruiserweight. Well, he could drop some. He could come down to
you can't
light
expect
heavy.
him to drop it. You can't expect him. He's a YouTuber. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's a
YouTuber.
professional fighter. So just take it. If you're ready to take it, the money.
Yeah,
Rafi.
Yeah.
Jake was very careful in picking Ben Askren. Ben Askren is like a throwback to the old school
100%.
MMA. He is like a wrestler. He has like a worst striking in the MMA you can find. He's a wrestler.
It's true. That is true.
Okay? He was very careful in who he picked. Okay,
that is true.
Jake Paul needs to be very careful who he selects to fight because some of these MMA guys can, in fact, throw hands.
But Kong, that's what
Jake
Paul said. Jake Paul said, "I'll fight who I choose to fight, not who people want."
Exactly.
What Jake Paul's clever. He's going to fight people where the public think can beat him, but he knows he can beat them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Hold on a sec, though. Leighton, who did you think was going to win before the fight?
I knew Jake Paul was going to beat him, mate. I'm not going to lie to you. I knew because I just watched this Ben Askren. He can't strike for shit. But I didn't think he would beat him like that, and that's the truth. Sorry about that.
I thought he would be a lot closer.
It would have been that easy. I thought it would have been points or something. Do you know what I mean? But
I thought it'd be a lot closer. If Ben Askren didn't win, I thought. I'll be honest. I thought that Paul had made a mistake this time. I thought that Paul had made a mistake this time, and then Askren was going to do him. I thought, but
really.
Yeah, I thought he made a mistake. I thought,
you'd expect so by being a professional fighter, wouldn't you?
Yes.
You'd think he'd fight a professional fighter. He's still a professional fighter,
Yes.
He's a professional fighter.
Well, he had time. Carry on.
Have you seen Ben Askren try and strike in MMA?
For years. Well, I've avoided watching him for years, but I've been aware of him for years, and I tried to avoid his fights. Yeah.
Rafi, he used to be over in Singapore with ONE FC, right? And Dana White used to say he would never come to the UFC because of how boring he was. Dana refused to sign him. Refused.
For years.
He got there in the last leg of his career.
Yeah.
Dana White refused to sign him.
Too boring. Too boring. And in comes the man like Jay Blues. Jay Blues. How you doing, my friend?
What's up, Raph? I finally caught you, man. What's good, bro? How you been?
I'm good, man. Is that you? Is that you playing the guitar?
Yeah, man. Looking like Randy Rhoads, Gary Moore, and Ted Nugent at the same time, bro. I'm making the comeback. This is the Jay Blues resurrection, like Jorge Masvidal, the return of the Jedi, son. I'm trying to let you know right now. But yeah, that's me, man.
Excellent. That's Jay Blues playing the guitar. We might have to start a band or something, YouTube band. You know, I'm pretty good on the percussion and the bass.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's do it, Raph.
So I might have to do that. I might have to start a super group. I want $1 million contract.
I could play cowbell.
contract. You know what I'm saying?
I could play the trumpet in junior school, but I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So J Blues, come on in. We're looking at the Ben Askren versus Jake Paul. I had no interest. I had no interest. I wasn't gonna watch it, but I don't know. I think something happened this morning. I thought, let me check it. I checked it, and I must have woken up the whole damn neighborhood when I saw that KO, and I started laughing uncontrollably.
I mean, poor Ben, dude. I mean, he didn't ask for this, bro. Literally, he just retired, let alone just had hip replacement surgery. And Jake Paul was crying after the fight, just as if he had just won a world title. He's crying. His team couldn't get him up.
He's just beat a professional, respected
MMA
fighter.
What he's crying for, let me say, what he was crying for, his bodyguard Shadow just died, and he's been his bodyguard for ages. His bodyguard was with him for a while. That's what he was saying. He's crying over his bodyguard, and he's been with him for years, and he just died. So I'll just clear that one up there.
Oh, okay. That's why he had the emotion. That's why he's so full of emotion. Let's have a look what's going on in the chat. We were talking about rich people a couple seconds ago. Yep, rich people don't stay rich by giving money away. When the Rafi was little story time, when the Rafi was a schoolboy, about 14, 15, got a weekend job at a hand wash car wash. So it was more expensive than a normal wash. You know, we had our Wellington boots on, we had our rubber gloves on. And, you know, you had these troughs with the soapy water, dip your 2 sponges in the trough. Oh, the cars had to drive through a sprinkler. So by the time it got to you, we had 1 person each side. By the time it got to you, it was all wet. So a lot of, it was all moist already. And you do the wash by hand. That was a summer job Rafi had as a summer job, a weekend job that Rafi had as a schoolboy. And at the end, they had to pay you, put the money in your hand, and there was none of this swiping your card business. Didn't have them facilities. It was cash. So they put the money in your hand, and oftentimes you get a tip. Well, the normal people, I noticed, were more likely to give you a tip or a handsome tip than the people who came in them fancy rich boy cars. So I thought, wow, these rich people, they really know how to hold on to a penny. Yeah, so that's something I clearly observed.
Real quick, Ref.
Yeah, man.
What did y'all think about Ric Flair, man?
No, man, I haven't seen the whole thing.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
You seen it?
I've seen it, brother.
I'm waiting. I'm sitting there watching the UFC, waiting for the Jake Paul Triller thing to start, right? And they're doing the weird musical act after crappy musical act. And it finally gets to like a break. And it goes this weird, like professionally shot, pre-recorded thing of like the rematch of the biggest slapboxing fight ever, like dude with the overalls on that got knocked. They went like 20 rounds the first time, right? Like both got really hurt. Now it clips to Ric Flair being the hype man and some weird comedian telling like just awful one-liners while they're doing this, bro. And it was so just the way it was shot, it was all WWE, man. Like it was a sell. It was a work.
Brother, that's why I said earlier on, I was watching it with my jaw on the floor. I just couldn't believe what I'm watching the whole night.
Dude,
it's nuts.
82-year-old Ric Flair with a bloated head in a dress to the nines in a suit doing his thing, bro. He was still Rick. That's what pumped me up about it. It's like, dude, Rick could be in a wheelchair and still sell anything.
Like, woo!
Yeah, woo! Like he was so hyped, bro.
Dana was banned for winning too much. Thought he was cheating. Was he winning too much? Hey, he had some losses as well. I don't know if he was banned for winning too much. Was he? I don't know. That's an interesting point. I don't know. That's not the way I remember the story. But I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't remember it that way. You might be right. He won $7 million in one night and got banned. Dana White won $7 million. Yo. It's very rare that you find a gambler who's up It's very rare you find a gambler who's up there. They're a rare breed,
Yeah.
like a
They
handful.
don't tell you what they lose, do they, Raph? They just tell you what
Exactly.
they win. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Gambling wouldn't be so big if there was lots of people winning. The vast majority of people lose, and the big spenders win big and lose big. But gambling, it's a mug's game. Sorry, folks, but it is a mug's game. You only gamble, some loose change. Red Catch exposed for his crappy acting. Dude just wanted a way out. If you're looking for a way out. Let's face it, Trilla's not aimed for the boxing fans. It's aimed at the regular Joes. I'd rather see Tommy Fury. Well, I'd rather see Tommy Fury fight boxers. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want Tommy Fury to do.
But Raph, if Jake Paul's going to fight boxers, then obviously he wouldn't fight YouTubers or celebrities. He just go into boxing. He don't want that. Yeah. He's fighting where the money's at. He's making 10 mil fights. Do you know what I mean? When these boxers ain't even making a mil. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's not fighting real boxers. The real boxers fight real boxers. He's picking and choosing some celebrities and celebrity MMA guys. He picked a basketball guy last time. Mixed martial arts, retired mixed martial arts guy. This time, who's he going to pick next time? I want to see him in there against Conor McGregor. People say I'm mad, but I want to see it. I love that fight.
Raph, he's managed like Deontay Wilder, mate. Shelly Finkel's putting the right fights for him. Do you know what I mean?
That would be hilarious. I'm not saying Conor can't win. He might do. I'm just saying it would be more competitive than a lot of people may think. I want to see that fight. What's going on?
That would sell pay-per-views through the roof.
It would sell. That would be massive.
Through the roof.
That would be massive.
Through the roof. And he has called Conor McGregor out because he cursed his wife and everything, hasn't he?
He did.
You know what I mean?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Anyway, to me, that's below the belt. Like, do you know what I mean? You attack a fighter, but you don't attack his family and the kids.
No.
You know what I mean?
No,
that's no class. Like.
That's rude.
Yeah.
We have yet to see an MMA star beat a real boxer. We saw Randy Mature. We saw Randy Mature. We saw Randy. We saw Randy Couture. Randy Couture beat what's his name?
James
Tony.
Oh, yeah, James Tony. So, but that was in the octagon. I think you're talking about an MMA star in a boxing ring.
Well,
yeah,
it's not going to happen, Raph. You're not going to get an MMA fighter to beat the boxer. You're not. It's just not going to happen.
Unless the MMA guy was a boxer before.
I was listening to a program the other day. Their stance are completely different to boxers. Because where boxers stand forward and they hold their hands forward, MMA stay back and they keep their leg there. It's completely different, mate. They will not. It will not happen, mate. Because they got to look out for leg kicks, head kicks. You know what I mean? With a boxer, he's not looking out for that. So he's solid. He's forward. It's completely different. And when they come into a boxer's world, they're completely offset, mate. Completely offset.
And I think that no other martial art has had the track record, the history of sparring like boxing has. So everything is refined and the techniques are worked out, man. Like boxing is the art of distance, the art of maintaining, controlling distance. Like no other martial art has that. So if you're not a boxer beforehand, you're gonna have that.
I'll say something because I know people won't like, but I'm telling you, boxing is the hardest of all the martial arts. But people won't like it, but it is the hardest.
It's definitely tough. I don't know if it's the hardest because if you mix
the hardest, Nick. It's the hardest. I've been in street fights, and I've had guys who are physically better than me, and I've beat them up. I've had guys who go kick better than me, do whatever better than me. It don't matter. But boxing is completely different, mate. Completely. Unless you've got that skill, it ain't worth it.
Yeah. It's a hell of a skill. But when it comes down to the training, I think MMA is difficult because you're training in so many different things. 1 minute you're training in the ground game, next minute you're training kickboxing.
Yeah, but Raph, every fighter, they're only strong at one thing. There's no fighter that's a complete fighter. You're always strong at one thing. Right. So even though you can do a bit of everything, you'll always rely on your one strength. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but when you said boxing was harder, I'm saying that the training for MMA is harder.
No, I'm not saying the training. I'm saying boxing as an art is harder. Because you've got other options than me to get out. You could be good at jiu-jitsu. Like you could be a little guy, you could take down a big guy, and then you got him.
But what you're saying is that because boxing is a single discipline,
Yeah.
You're just training boxing.
It's harder, bro. I'm telling you, it's harder. There's certain rules, and that's the only rules you got for boxing. With MMA, I could kick you, I can wrestle you, I can do something. Do you know what I mean? So you might not be the best wrestler.
You're saying it's harder to win with just boxing? So you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, brother.
That's what you're saying. You're saying because you've only got one single discipline, you can only use your two.
It's even, yeah, because that's all it is.
You're only using your two-fisted. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You could have a shorter guy with low center of gravity. It's not going to matter in boxing so much. But if it was in MMA, it's going to matter. You can use your low center of gravity, take him down. Do you know what I mean? It's different, mate. And boxing is harder, mate. I'm telling you.
Yes, I hear what you're saying. You're saying it's harder to win because you just got your two hands, so you have to train to sharpen them up. Yeah, whereas with the MMA, you might have one single discipline that you're decent at. You can switch disciplines to suit the situation. Well, but ultimately, the thing about boxing is that it's probably, I think what you're really saying is that it's probably the most effective form of self-defense.
No. What I am saying, it's the hardest. I'm telling you, no, it's the hardest. I've learned this. This was my mixed martial arts since I was 10 years of age, and I'm telling you, it's the hardest. It's the hardest.
Hardest what? I don't get you. What do you mean? You got to finish the sentence. Hardest what?
Right. Let me try to explain this to you. What I mean, Ralph. It's the hardest to win, to be the best at. That's what I mean.
Okay, that's a different thing. You're saying it's the hardest to be the best at. That's a different thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Now, okay, so if you're saying that, then I can agree with that. It's the hardest to be the best at because you got two hands. You have to win with your two hands. It's not kickboxing. It's no problem. No problem. We got there. That's the main thing. With that, I agree. J Blues.
Yeah, with in terms of concentration and applying that concentration, it's harder, but like I'd say something like Lethwei or Muay Thai is far tougher, far harder because it's more brutal, man.
I think so as well. I don't think it's the hardest. I don't think it's the hardest. I think what it is that I think. In fact, I think it's the easiest. I think it's the easiest thing where the common man can, if he applies himself, he can get damn good. I think it's the easiest. Not to be the best, but to get good at.
You think it's the easiest? So if you put an amateur in with me, and even though I haven't boxed for years, I'm telling you, just be brutal. It'd be brutal. It's no. It's an art. It's like everyone. They're all arts. So I mean, let me say what I'm saying.
If you take 10 guys, if you take one guy and he has to learn a sport, he has to learn one of the disciplines. He has to learn one discipline and be reasonably decent at it within 1 year of constant training. And then he has to go out. Let's say he has to be a bouncer. Okay, let's say a guy has to be a bouncer. Yeah. Which discipline would you pick for that guy? He's got to learn this one discipline in 12 months, and then he's got to go out and use it. Which discipline would you choose for him?
Well, if I have to choose, I'd say a wrestler. But then, no, a boxer would be the hardest for you.
One at a time.
I'd say a wrestler. I'd say a wrestler, but no, that's not going to help you in the real world. To make you, if you're going to be tough and he was going to do 12 months of it, he was a big guy, I'd say boxing. If he can box, he can look after himself.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you had to pick one discipline, I would say, and you're going to learn it consistently, you're going to have a trainer there with you 4 times a week, I would say the easiest one and the most effective one would probably be boxing.
Yeah, not competed, just to learn the basics, But if you competed, no. But if you just learn the basics, I agree with you. But there's a difference between learning the basics and competing, and that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, let's talk about competing. Okay, so you're saying the boxing is the hardest discipline to learn?
100%. If you competed, 100%.
J Blues.
Leighton, you ever seen? Excuse me, I'm eating, guys. Leighton, you ever seen guys in Thailand, like Thai fighters with conditioning with their shins, man? They have to take that piece of bamboo and just knock
I've seen
all the
Muay
nerve
Thai
endings
and all
dead.
that. Listen, I've had world champion Muay Thai and kickboxers around me. I know them. But the hardest boys from where I am, the boxers. Trust me, brother. Trust me.
When it comes to being a tougher sport, I say boxing is going to be a more cerebral sport. It's going to be a more tactical sport. It's going to be more art of war. Like, you have to be well read on your tactics and your game plan. You can't just go in there and physically beast your way through it. So in that way, it's harder, man. Like, it's all mental boxing.
That's what I'm saying, brother. It's an art, and it's like whatever art. Listen, I had a daughter. My daughter was like brown belt in 3 years. So I mean, that's karate. So I mean, but when I'm talking boxing, it takes years, mate, years to master it, bro. I mean, years.
Hold on. I just thought about something. You want to talk about tough? What about jujitsu? What about having somebody strangle you over and over and over again until you learn?
But if you've got a boxer coming against a jiu-jitsu guy, you're just going to stand off him and hit him. You're not going to let the guy get close to you to grab you. Do you know what I mean? And that's what boxing.
We're talking about the hardest to learn, though. We're talking about the hardest to learn, though. We're talking about the hardest to learn. We're talking about the hardest to learn.
I don't think jiu-jitsu is hard to learn as boxing. It's not, because it's
really
physical.
Putting aside that ego of, like, dude, having somebody.
Listen, I listen to your opinion, and I'll take it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll hold my hands up. I'm just discussing with you, but I don't believe that jiu-jitsu is harder than boxing.
This is This is interesting. This is interesting because I've studied all of them things.
I think you have to have more of an ability to step outside yourself and to be modest to be able to do jiu-jitsu, man. Because anybody can go in there and take punches and just be tough and grit through it.
No, not anybody can do it, brother. And that's the thing. Like,
a lot of people, listen,
can do it.
Most people are scared to walk into any kind of dojo or gym. Most people are scared to walk into.
Well, let's put it back to 101. 101, right? 101. When you meet someone, you're going to have a fight. What's the first thing you go to? The stands. You don't go straight to the jiu-jitsu side. Go straight to the stands. The first thing that's going to happen is the blow. The blow is the first thing. Fair enough. Usually then when you have the blow, then you hurdle, grab them, take them down, and do what you do. But the first thing is the blow.
You see, I disagree with you about the hardness to learn. I disagree with you.
It's not so much learn, it's master. It's master.
Yeah, master. I think forget about the hardest to learn or to master. I don't think that's what you're really saying. I think what you're saying is it's a whole different sentence. What I say is that boxing is the most effective self-defense in a flash situation.
Bang, you had the word there, Raf. Effective. Sorry, bruv.
You're using the wrong word altogether. It's not hard.
That's the one.
It's effective. It's effective. Boxing, I believe, boxing is the most effective art in a flash situation. When do people fight the most? When do normal people fight the most? It's when alcohol's involved. So we're talking about the pubs and the clubs, and maybe certain sporting activities could get a little bit rowdy. And you don't go to wrestling, although you can. Some people do. You don't go to jiu-jitsu, although you can. Some people do. But what it normally is two guys trading a few blows. It's real fast.
Right.
It doesn't last long.
Like you said there, right? Say in the club with someone, you could be a jiu-jitsu king, right? As soon as you start grabbing someone on the floor, people will usually break it up. But with boxing, boom, it's over. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the most effective. The word is effective. I do believe boxing is the most effective self-defense in a flash situation, in a pub, in a club. Yeah.
I don't think so, man. It's too much of a crapshoot with the projectiles of the ballistics of striking, man. Like anything can happen. It's a crapshoot. Like,
well, it was worse if you go jiu-jitsu, because then you're on the ground, you're gonna get stomped out.
Who said you got to go on the ground? I'll stand and clinch with them and control them.
Like, you know,
that's more Greco. Then. That's more Greco. That's not. Hold on, one at a time. Whoever starts speaking, let them finish the sentence.
let me say a minute, ref. When you're doing jiu-jitsu and it's in the thing of fair enough, but you got to think when you're in a scrap with someone and someone tries to try and lock you up, you bite their ear, you bite their throat, you bite their whatever. That jiu-jitsu's out the window then, son. Do you know what I mean? And you go back up to the boxing. That's what I'm trying to say. You're 100%. Boxing is the most effective, 100%.
In a flash situation, I think it is. Jay Blues, you were saying.
No, I just think that the feints and head movement can change a confrontation, right? Like someone may step to you with whatever aggravation or whatever feelings they got, but the feints, the distance control will change everything. If that distance is negated, it's not even an issue. It's not even an option. Like he's on you, he's coming forward, he's going to grab you with the left hand and swing with the right. Like I'd rather bank on jiu-jitsu. I'd rather bank on an option to contain him. You know what I mean? Because ballistics, just swinging meat fist. I mean,
yeah.
What are you gonna do but make him mad? What are you gonna do?
What's more effective? What's more effective than a one-punch knockout?
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to hurt nobody. He might kill dude.
No, but the question is, what's more effective? One person at a time. What's more effective than a one-punch knockout? No takers?
Not much,
there's
man.
Nothing, Graf. You knows me. There's not. I don't care if you're a world champion, jiu-jitsu, whatever. And if you're arguing me and I push the one quick one on you, it's over. Job done. Dead. Over with.
Yeah. So I think boxing in a flash situation is the most effective martial arts. You can boom, boom, and it could be over. However, if it goes prolonged, then I'm sorry, I got to go with the wrestling. I got to go with the wrestling.
I agree.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there at the Birmingham NEC. I wasn't there, but I heard that you had a kickboxing team and a WWE team who had come to town at the same time, and they were in the bar. Long story short, the wrestlers won.
Yeah, wrestlers are the ones, because I'll tell you something. No, I've been around professional boxers. I've seen it, and with my professional boxers, I've known every time they've gone into a scrap with people, they don't want to punch them. They'll just wrestle them straight away. They'll just rush them, wrestle them, take them down to the floor, and then ground and pound them. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you've got to be stupid to stand there and try and punch a boxer. Do you know what I mean? Wrestling will win all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So in a flash situation, personally, I think it's the boxing. But if it goes prolonged, if the other guy knows good wrestling and he's good at it, then there could be a problemo. There could be a problemo. So boxing can work.
Once you take the boxer to the floor,
hold on, right, and let me just finish my sentence, bro.
Sorry, brother.
Boxing can work. Wrestling can work. But you know what else can work? Judo. If you are a judoka who knows how to slip a punch, it's not necessary that you know how to slip a punch as judo, because I've trained it and they don't teach you how to slip punches. Just get over them. Yeah. But if you can slip a punch, if you're a judoka who can slip a punch, you know how to slip a punch, you train how to slip a punch, then you can make that boxer go airborne. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Judo has some of the most satisfying throws, bro.
Judo
and sambo, combat sambo, like Fedor throws.
Hell yeah. Well, but you see, sambo is a combination of it's a combination of the striking and the wrestling and the throwing. So really and truly, to me, sambo is a real nice sport. It's a real nice sport.
But this is where we go back to the art, see? Because if you're going to fight someone, you know what your art is. And if this guy's a boxer, you know your art is wrestling. You're going to attack him with wrestling. If you know this guy's karate and you're judo, you know you're going to grab him and do it. It's arts. That's why it's called mixed martial arts. And it's whoever can put them all together as one. Like when we're watching the movies, we always see a guy that can just do it all. Do you know what I mean? But in reality, you can't. You've got to know your opponent and know what his weakness is and know what his strengths are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What was I got here? Reliable source. Carl Roberts, boxing team and wrestling team. Were they the same weight class? Well, no, they're not going to be the same weight class. I mean, it's the WWE guys. So they were big guys. I think the wrestling team were heavyweight guys. So as far as I'm aware, it was two heavyweight as a battle of the clash of heavyweight and middleweights, and I don't know what the weights were. I wasn't there, but it came from a reliable source. Absolutely 100% reliable source. So let me go through a few of these comments we got there. Let's have a look. What's going on? Jack of Gospic. Aren't there more moves to learn or be aware of in martial arts where you can use more than just hand strikes? There's more moves to learn, but we're talking about the effectiveness of those moves in a street situation. Boxing is easy to learn because there's less to learn, but doing it well is a totally different story.
Whoever said that is difficult. Boxing's not easy to learn, mate. It's just not easy to learn. It's easy to learn and punch a punch bag. Yeah, I totally agree. But boxing itself is not easy to learn.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's two arguments, isn't there? Because what's easier than throwing a jab? What's easier than throwing a right? What's easier than throwing
you can throw a right at the punch bag, but not a thing that's coming back. It's completely different. And that's what boxing is. So for someone to say, listen, Raf, I'm defending my sport. I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. You can have boxercise. You can have all that. Everyone can do that and punch the bag. But you're not having to punch your chucking back. That's completely different. When you go into a competitive fight, it's completely different.
It's easy to learn, but it's not. Man, I just had it. All right, my bad. My thoughts fleet me.
You was gonna say it's easier to learn, but harder to execute.
It's easy to learn, but harder to understand. Boxing is like you have to have vision. You have to see things. You have to compose on the fly and see them happen, and then set them up and make them happen. Like you have to have, like I said,
experience. Once you've done one situation and you've gone in and tried the left, right, and someone's giving you a right hook, you think, "Oh, hang on. When I do my left, right, now I get the right hook. Time to duck the head and then do something else." You've got to learn. It's experience. And for someone to say it's easy, to me, it's just pure disrespectful.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that because we're having a debate here, folks. We're having a debate. We're throwing around ideas and different points of view, and it's all good and it's all cool in the gang. Cool and the gang, rather. What I say is that throwing a punch is relatively easy to learn, and the more you do it, the better you get. So learning to throw a punch, that's relatively moderately easy. It's easier if I say throw a punch, anybody can do that. How effective that punch will be, that's a different matter. If I say get this guy in a neck choke or what do you call it, an Americana, let's say an Americana, people might know that as the chicken wing. Imagine a man lying down on his back, a person lying down on his back, and then you're giving them a chicken wing, so the arm is behind them. That's pretty easy as well. You know what? It comes down to aptitude. You might have a guy who is a wizard, a jiu-jitsu wizard, but you put a pair of gloves on him and he's all at sea. I've seen that many, many times. All at sea. Clueless. So you know what it is? It comes down to aptitude. People have aptitude for different things. So one man, you might put him on a wrestling mat and say, do this, this, and that, and he does it. He's got an aptitude for it. But I hear the other side of the coin. You put a next man in the boxing ring, and he might just be all at sea. It's just tricky. It's a no right answer.
It's no right answer, because that's why it's mixed martial arts. Because like there's so many different martial arts, and some people are special at something, and some people are no good at another, and that's what makes it intriguing. Because there's no perfect fighter who can do them all. There's no perfect fighter. There's no one on the planet who can do them all. But the best fighters are the ones who can do the most average of them all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree with that. It's like marching. I was in the Army Cadets, and marching is just like walking, stylized walking. But as soon as you get people lined up to march, when they was teaching us to march, all of a sudden, some guys would just do the exact opposite of what they should do. All of a sudden, they couldn't even walk anymore. You're supposed to swing your arms in a certain way. They were doing it the opposite way. As natural as walking is, They couldn't march. And it took intensive time for them to learn how to march. So then it comes down to aptitude. Where is your aptitude? What art suits you better? Maybe throwing a punch comes easy to you. So you think that's easy. But then to a next man, it might be the hardest thing in the world to throw a punch. So yeah, it's interesting. It's very, very interesting.
And then you got to bring in heart and discipline. Do you know what I mean? That changes it all around. Heart, discipline, and intelligence. It's like it's so many different things you got to think about. So many.
Well, yeah,
things.
but you have to separate.
No,
yeah, but you have to separate the technique of throwing a punch with the actual fight itself. So we're not talking about the fight right now. We're just talking about the technical aspects of throwing a punch. So even if you can do that, when it comes into a combat situation, then that alters the equation again. Because now
that comes back, you could be the boxer size champion. You could do all the stuff on the bag on the thing. Give me the boxer size champion. Put you in the ring with one person. No good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, now we bring in another element because you need a certain amount of heart. You need a certain amount of heart to step in the ring. And then all that technical know-how could go to pot. You know what I'm saying? He could just count for nothing because that's...
It do, because adrenaline will kick in and you don't think. And some people can't think and relax. And it's a different fighter. And if you can relax and think, you get the best of you. There's so many situations, Raf. You know yourself. Do you know what I mean, bro? But it's just so many situations. That's why when people say, like, oh, he's a bum. No, he's not a bum. He just didn't get it right on the night. Do you know what I mean? That's how it is.
Well, you see, and the other difference is with jiu-jitsu and boxing is that in jiu-jitsu it's gentler. It's kinder. Yes, you can get your arm. You can get any bone broke. You can get your arm broke. You can get your leg broke. You can get your knee torn up with a leg lock.
Trust me, I respect jiu-jitsu. I respect jiu-jitsu.
But it's not the same. It's not the same as getting in the ring and having a scrap. It's not the same. It's not the same. It really isn't. It's not the same as getting punched in the face.
I think it's easier to be in a fight standing on your feet, using your hands, and be outgunned and be outskilled and outmatched than to be outgunned and outskilled in a jiu-jitsu grappling match. Because in the grappling match,
Hold on, let him finish.
It's a slow death. It's a slow grind. Watch Khabib fight anybody. That's rough, man. It's just like a boa constrictor slowly.
What would you rather do, Jay Blues? Would you rather fight? Hold on. Would you rather fight Khabib or Mike Tyson?
Man, that ain't. Come on, man.
No, it's a question.
But bro,
I don't know. I don't know what your answer is going to be.
I'll say
question.
I'll say this: they're both going to beat me to smithereens, but at least with Mike, I got the chance of a crazy overhand right landing, bro, and doing some damage.
Khabib still got to start in that position as Mike Tyson to get to where he got to, and that's why I respect Khabib. Because you still got to start as a stand-up. If Khabib was to take the stand-up, then he wouldn't get to where he wanted to be. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to start there to get there.
Who would you rather fight? Who would you rather fight? Mike Tyson or Khabib?
What, 58-year-old Mike Tyson? Yeah.
No. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Who would you rather fight? Mike Tyson in his prime or Khabib in his prime?
Neither.
Either one, bro.
I'm not that tough, bro.
I feel I'm gonna get hurt less if I fight Khabib.
No, Khabib will still bear you out, mate. He's
gonna bear me out. He's gonna bear me out. He's gonna bear me out. He's gonna be brutal. But
you'll be able to hold your head up for the rest of your life after fighting Tyson, though.
This is the thing where people
don't take your soul.
Yeah, Khabib. People don't get Khabib his respect. He stood there with Conor McGregor, who's supposed to be the main striker. He's got to start off standing. He stood there standing. He dropped McGregor. Do you know what I mean? And he done it. So don't think Khabib is just a wrestler. Khabib can fight, mate. And that's why I was trying to say to you for the start. When you got all these mixed martial arts, you've got to have a wave that goes through. You can do them all. And Khabib is the master at wrestling, but he can do them all.
So you got $1 million. Either one. You're going to get paid $1 million. It's hypothetical, folks.
I'd
who
rather get knocked out by Tyson than Khabib. Tell you that.
He'll be over in
I could
30
live,
seconds.
I could live with that. Exactly. I could live with that. Mike Tyson knocked me out there. That's my Hall of Fame. He knocked me out. Boom.
I mean, that's what's his name? Peter McNeely's whole claim to fame is like, dude, I fought Mike Tyson. I gave him a good fight.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just wouldn't like the thought of a sledgehammer in my face. And I feel if Mike Tyson catches you proper in his prime, that's what it would feel like, a sledgehammer in the face.
But Raph, I've been knocked out twice in my life. Every time
Right.
I got knocked out, I never seen the punch coming. Every time I took had the punches, but seen it coming, so you could tense up for it. When you don't see the punch coming, that's the one that gets you, bro. So I mean, and Khabib, I don't think he'd give me that. He'd strangle me out. But Mike Tyson would give me the punch that I don't see. He'd probably give me the punch I am seeing coming, mate. You know what I mean?
No, it'd be just as worse with Khabib, but it'd be like you'd be able to live with it, man. Like he wouldn't just strangle you out. Like he would. You ever seen him fight Barboza?
Yeah.
Dude, that was the worst.
Yeah,
like
I've seen that, yeah.
most demeaning. Like
Yeah.
get off him! Like the way Barboza, leave him alone. The way Barboza was just.
But hold on,
one hand,
you've never
to get away, bro.
You're not a wrestler, are you, Jay Blues? You're not a wrestler, are you?
I wrestled in 8th grade, 9th grade, but no, I'm not a wrestler.
See, Americans have wrestling. They have wrestling.
You've never wrestled, have you?
Only time I wrestle is in a scrap and in a fight over here when I've learned. So I'm a good wrestler because just a fighter, I can wrestle, I can fight. But over America, they got wrestling, mate. We ain't got nothing like that over here.
That's wrestling. You know, I remember when because in Valley Judo, you learn the wrestling. I remember the first time I went there for the wrestling, and I remember being under a guy. And you know what? Just being a street guy, just being a guy from the street, and not knowing wrestling properly, I fought like a cat. I was underneath, but I fought like a cat. I fought with everything I've got. And I'm pretty sure I was more difficult. It was more difficult for him wrestling me because I didn't know what the standard go-to moves are. So it wasn't a nice smooth. It wasn't a nice smooth roll. I was like a cat underneath. I was like a cat underneath, and that was with no wrestling skill. That was with no wrestling skill. I was like a cat underneath, and he got me in the end.
Just when naturally athletic, isn't it? Naturally athletic.
Yeah. I got tired in the end. I got tired in the end, and he got me in the end. But hey, it took a while. It took a while just through fighting like a cat, fighting for everything you got. Whereas the next guy who's gonna wrestle, he's just a 2-minute wrestler, and then you're gonna move on to the next guy. But for me, it was everything. For me, being on my back there, it was everything. I cannot have this situation. And I gave him hell, even without any experience. I gave him hell until I fatigued. And okay, fair enough.
The Americans, they learn it in school. They learn wrestling in school. They have it in their school, their colleges, whatever. They have wrestling. We like in Britain, that's unheard of. We have boxing. It's like when I was younger, we had boxing.
But what I'm saying, the point is, what I'm saying is that even without wrestling, even without being trained in wrestling, still underneath, I was fighting for my life, mate. I was fighting for my life.
It's a natural art. It's a natural art.
I got tired. Yes, he got me in the end, but that was the base point. So let's not forget about Khabib. Let's not forget he fought with what's that American guy's name? The guy who came in on late notice. And Ally Quinta.
Raging out, man.
Raging out. What's his name? Khabib didn't dominate him.
Nah.
That was a nice fight. That was back and forth.
Yeah,
that was back and forth.
That goes back to my point where Americans, they are known as the best wrestlers because
it goes back to my point that Ally Quinta, with all his heart and good basic wrestling, he had a pretty damn even fight with Khabib. Talk to me, Jay Bruce.
Yeah, he stopped a few of the takedowns, man. And Khabib wanted to play with him and stand on the feet and trade jabs and stuff. But Ally Quinta made that a fight. Like he was. Go ahead,
made it a fight.
Khabib is Kazakhstan's a different animal. bread's different.
Listen, mate.
Kazakhstan, mate.
Listen,
They're crazy Russians.
Alaya Quenta made that
I
an
know
even
him.
fight.
I know. But that's
So,
because
so what I'm saying is everybody's saying no. I'm counteracting. I'm counteracting the idea that if you go in there with Khabib, you're going to get crushed. Alaya Quinta says no.
But the thing with Khabib is he's a Kazakhstan. He's not an American wrestler. American wrestling, everyone knows Americans got the best team for wrestlers. They're brought up on wrestling. They're supposed to be the best in the world at wrestling. But Khabib has come from Kazakhstan. He's wrestled bears when he was younger, and he's shown the Americans, I'm the man for wrestling. Do you know what I mean? That's why he's so good.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say it's not the art, it's the artist.
Right.
It's not the style, it's the stylist. But it don't matter if you never boxed one day in your life, Leighton, but you got heart and you studied jiu-jitsu instead of boxing.
Yeah,
you still have success. You still have success because it comes from heart. It's not the artist.
But that's what I'm saying. These Kazakhstans are hungry. They're hungry.
It's not the art. It's not the art. It's the artist. It's the artist. It's not the art. It's the artist. So whatever style a guy is employing, it's really the heart of the artist more so than the art.
100%, brother. 100%.
That's my stance. But you know, boxing is my first love, and I think you can end a conflict damn quick with boxing, but a next guy who's got his next start. I think what we're saying here is that everybody, it's not the art, it's the artist. It's not the art, it's the artist.
No, but Raf, say you got a jiu-jitsu wrestler, the best in the world, whatever. He's 5'5", and he's hitting a 6-foot boxer. It's not going to happen, mate. He's not going to get close to him. He's not going to get close to that boxer. He's just not. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's what I'm saying. Boxing.
What if he gets a leg? What if he gets a leg? What if he gets a leg?
Yeah, unless his shot
is
like lightning, you don't know, man. It's the artist.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
speed. You add it. Speed.
It's not the art. It's the artist.
Speed kills.
Yeah, speed kills. But what if the jiu-jitsu guys takes your leg away real quick?
Yeah, then he's the same size as the little 5'5" guy, isn't he? When he's on the floor, he's the same size. So you're right.
And moreover, the first time, remember, boxing is the first art that I ever studied. And the first time I went into a mixed martial arts gym, actually, was Valley Judo. Shout out to Mick Brosnan.
And there was two. Rapid clicked myself out of his own stream, man.
Where's Rafi's left? He's left me in charge.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. So not the art, it's the artist. Not the art. Oh yeah. So Valley Judo, Valley Judo first class. Let me finish the sentence though. Valley Judo first class. No, it wasn't the first class. It was the first sparring. Remember, I come from a boxing background, so the hands were nice and the footwork is nice. So we're in there now, and I throw a jab, and the next thing I know, I'm looking up at the ceiling. That is how fast a good takedown is. A good takedown without a good takedown attempt on a guy without an eye for the takedown. If you haven't got an eye for the takedown, that will come real fast. Real fast. Of course, after a few times of getting taken down, then you know what to look for. And then, you know, that's a different equation now because the taller, longer man, longer limbs. Now you got the advantage.
But Raf, it's gone the same way. I'm a 5'9" guy, right? And I fought guys 6'3", 6'4". He thinks he could fight. I've come in, up and over, big overarm right, dropped him. He's on the floor sleeping. Do you know what I mean? So, because that guy hasn't got the skills that I got, and he thinks he can come in and hit me, and it's like, no, I'm moving my head and coming in over big arm right, knocked you out. Do you know what I mean? So it goes either way. It's like we say when it comes to heart, but it comes to experience as well as heart.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
That's true. So it's a combination of things, man. It's a combination of things. So it's difficult to say it's just one way. It's difficult to say it's just one way. That's why there are so many arts. J Blues.
That's why you got to respect the art.
That's why you got to respect the art. That's why you got to respect the arts. J Blues.
The one thing that keeps ringing out in my mind is what you said when you were fighting like a cat.
Yeah.
when
underneath.
you get put on your back, bro,
Yeah.
and somebody's got a hold of you, like that's that fight or flight response. Some people freak out.
Yeah.
Like forget thinking about tactics. Like that's life or death. Like that's not
life or death.
I'm not on my feet. I'm not moving around, getting ready to think about the next punch, think about what he's throwing. Like I've got to do something now. Like you freak out, you know?
Now, right now. And my inexperience kind of helped because a wrestler, somebody who's trained, they would do certain things that would be predictable to the guy. But I was just bucking, pushing off, kicking off with the feet. I was doing everything I could, full force for as long as I could. And then, of course, you run out of gas, and that's when you need technique, which obviously I didn't have. That was my first class.
You ever seen a praying mantis grab a hold of something, man?
Yes.
It ain't getting free.
Yeah.
Boom, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere.
It's gripped up. But what I'm saying to you is that my natural instincts, just natural instincts without no training, I just knew that I couldn't allow that guy to get a hold of me. So
that's heart, then, Raph. That's heart.
That's heart. That's heart. Instinct. It's instinct as well, though. It's instinct as well, though, because I kept even though I wasn't a trained wrestler at that point, I kept my knees up. I kept my feet on his hips. He tried to move my feet. I kept on replacing them, pushing him off with everything, the hands, the feet, everything. He stayed on top because he was good. But this was somebody with no training, and it was hellish for him. Hellish for me with zero wrestling training. Hellish. I was like a cat underneath, mate.
You see that a lot in MMA, man. Some people get on bottom, and all of a sudden they just, like Derek Lewis, he just stands up. Like he just has that natural explosive ability to just be like, get off me, man.
Yeah, get off me and stand up.
But what's made me think with this Jake Paul is I think these MMA guys ain't all what they're making up to be. And sorry, I might be wrong. The elite, obviously, the elites are going to be different. But I think after the elites, the rest of them, I think they're just trying. They're just normal people trying. And Jake Paul has shown that I think they're all overrated, bro.
I don't think they're all overrated.
Just put it out there. I think they are, bro. I think they are.
That's cool.
The average professional boxer's had 10 fights. I'm telling you, it ain't the same as the MMA guys who had 10 fights.
Well, you see, the thing is, what's his name? Askren wasn't even an MMA guy, really. Askren was a wrestling guy who managed to survive.
He's a Bellator champion, brother.
Hold on. Askren was a champion wrestler, and even though he went into MMA, all he really used was his wrestling. He didn't use no punching. Askren wasn't no puncher. He just pretended.
I never said that, brother. I never said that you
said he did. I never said that you said.
I know that, right? But I'm trying to say. So what you're saying, the wrestler?
What I'm saying is that Askren was never. If you really get down into it, Askren was never. Even though he's an MMA champion, he was never an MMA fighter. He was a guy who used his wrestling to get him through. Now, that's one of the reasons, or that is the reason he wasn't very popular, even in MMA. That's the reason Dana White didn't want him, because he wasn't an MMA fighter. He was a wrestler who could get under the punches of MMA fighters, take them down, and grapple the life out of them and get the win. That's why Dana White didn't want him. He wasn't an entertaining fighter. And you can argue he was never an MMA fighter. Because he's basically a pure wrestler.
No. You cannot argue with me that he's not an MMA fighter. When you're a Bellator champion, that's disgusting to say you're not an MMA fighter. Come on, Raph.
He never was. He was a wrestler who made it in MMA with just wrestling, nothing else.
When you are a champion, you are an MMA fighter then, yeah?
Well, yeah, he was an MMA fighter in name, but what did he do? He never did anything other than wrestling.
I agree with that, but I'm not agreeing with the first thing that he's an MMA fighter, bro.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously people are going to say he's an MMA fighter because he fought in MMA for a number of years, became an MMA champion. But what I'm saying to you, the only skill he ever used in the octagon was wrestling. So really,
what are we going to do? We're going to say take away all his MMA, and we're going to make out the MMA fighters that he beat, which must have been boxers, jiu-jitsu. They must have been people. I don't know who he's beat.
He beat them all with wrestling.
People. Well,
he beat them all with wrestling. So you can't beat them all with wrestling. He can't beat a man without wrestling. That's the only thing he can beat a man with.
Credit, so you can't. He's beat MMA fighters. So
He
you
has.
can't take that away from him. You know what I
I'm
mean,
not
Raf?
trying to take anything away from him. I'm just saying that he beat everybody he beat with wrestling. He was not a
I
complete
100% agree. I 100% agree,
he
brother.
was not a complete MMA fighter. He was a wrestler who made it through in wrestling. And yes, he was an MMA champion, but what I'm saying to you is that he did it all with wrestling because he ain't got nothing else. Ben Askren has never beat anyone with anything other than wrestling. I don't know. He might have got a one punch.
How many millions? He's made millions. He's made millions.
One punch knockout somewhere. I don't know. Maybe.
No,
But
he's
it's
got like
always
9
been about
knockouts.
wrestling.
I think he's got like 9 knockouts. I don't know
Yeah.
whether they're submissions, whatever.
Yeah, I know how. Because he
Really?
goes down for the leg. He goes down for the leg, throws an overhand right, and people are looking down and they get caught. That's how you get caught. So you can say, well, Rafi, if he all he ever did was wrestling, how come he's got knockouts? Those knockouts came by the way of him, of people focusing on his wrestling, and then boom.
The thing is, Raf, I'm looking at him, right, Raf, and I'm thinking, I know I could beat him up. I know I could beat him up, right? I know I could beat him up. I'm scratching my head thinking, how is you an MMA champion if I know I could beat you up? So to me, there's value in what I see in my eyes as an MMA champion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I see a boxing,
but you couldn't beat him up in you couldn't beat him up in the octagon though. You couldn't beat him. You could beat him in a boxing.
No, that's beg to be,
but not in the octagon. Not in the octagon. You'll just come underneath.
After what I've seen, that's begged to be deferred, mate. I'm telling you no. I think I'd knock him up, and I'm telling you no.
In the boxing ring, yes. In the boxing ring, yes. But in the MMA octagon, he takes you down. He takes you down.
All right,
he takes you down.
He beat me on fitness. He's obviously professional fitness. I'm not a professional.
No. He'll beat you with wrestling. He'll beat you with wrestling. He'll take you down when you're ready to throw.
You wouldn't even get that close. I'm telling you.
No boxer has ever won in the octagon, my friend. No boxer has ever won in the octagon.
Let Dillian White in the octagon. Let Dillian White in the octagon.
Well, the reason Dillian White might do well in the octagon is
Dillian White would get taken down and laid on for 4 rounds.
No, JJ Blues. JJ Blues. You don't know JJ Blues. You don't know JJ Blues. You don't know that Dillian White's fought in the MMA before, do you?
Yeah, I've seen him, and it was all like crazy kickboxing, bro. He didn't use any wrestling.
No.
Yeah, bro. Anyway, if you've seen it, you've seen it. If you've seen the one fight, you've seen the one fight. That's the one fight. He knocked the guy out. He knocked the guy out. He was a jiu-jitsu guy. Knocked him out.
Blues. What went with Dillian White was when he was coming to boxing. He came in as an amateur when he was fighting Joshua, but really he was a professional kickboxer. That's why he beat Joshua.
Yeah, but he's
professional. No. Listen. When they knew he was a professional fighter, and then he fought Joshua as an amateur, coming in like 2-3 fights, wants to fight Joshua, but he was a professional MMA star. So I mean, he should never have fought Joshua. And that's the thing they realized. Wait. That's when they kicked him off, mate. He said, listen, it's one or the other.
What you say, Jay Blues?
Imagine if he would have taken the second route and became the alternate route rather and became an MMA fighter. That would have been interesting.
Boom. But there you go. That would have been interesting.
His whole thing is being a wild power kickboxer, man. Throwing huge body kicks, huge right hands, huge left hooks. But like he wasn't no leg kick setup, dude. He wasn't no jet. Like Dillian's whole thing is to bum rush you and throw power, man.
No, Jay, listen. Dillian was a bouncer, mate. He's been shot. He's been stabbed. He was fighting on the streets. He was proper fighting in London, fighting people coming back with him with sledgehammers and coming for him afterwards. Dillian's street, mate. I swear to God. People don't understand how tough Dillian is. Do you know what I mean? And then Dillian had to build his way up because he was told, you've got a career in boxing if you use your head. So he used his head and he's built his way up. But Dillian is a proper, this is why he's got that attitude to fight anyway, because he was a bouncer, mate. People used to come back to him next week with an hammer, slam him on the head, and he'd have to fight them, mate. People would come back, shoot him or stab him. Do you know what I mean? Dillian, trust me, mate. He is the beast.
Could you imagine a Dillian White headbutt? Just good Lord, man.
Trust me, he knows all our moves. That's in Britain, like that's a number one move you'll learn. You'll always learn in Britain. Americans don't do it, but in Britain it is like you'll talk to someone and that's the first move you'll do. Like,
Hey, buddy, come here. I want to say
Americans do it too. Americans do it too. Trust me, I know a bodybuilder guy who went out there to Q8 and he got into it with one of their stars over there, and that was his go-to move. ended the
He must have
problem.
been hanging around with British people, Raph. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know, man. It's American dude, cornbread American dude. So I think they know it over there. All of Ben Askren's KOs are by ground and pound by way
I said
of the
that.
wrestling.
I said that.
By
Raph.
way of wrestling. So once again, I come back to it. Was Ben Askren ever an MMA fighter? I put it to you. Ben Askren was a wrestler, always a wrestler.
But
That's
Raph,
all he ever did. He never did anything else. He ain't no MMA fighter. He's a wrestler.
Raph, that's
100%.
like saying Randy Couture was not an MMA fighter. Randy Couture was all wrestling. That's all he was.
He had some damn good hands. He had some. Look at the Tate Sylvia fight. He had some damn good hands.
He learned. He was a wrestler, but that's okay. That's a good comparison you've drawn there. Okay, what's the difference between Randy Couture and Ben Askren? Randy Couture learned the other aspects of the game.
A knockout win over Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, Randy Couture got.
But he took him down before.
Hold on a second, man. One at a time, man. Randy Couture got what's his name? What the hell's his name? Oh, damn it, I've forgotten. I talked about it in a previous show. He got a guy in Maurice Smith. Bloody hell, thank goodness for that. He got Maurice Smith in. I talked about it in a previous show. And Maurice Smith was a kickboxer. So they exchanged skills. Maurice Smith taught Randy Couture the stand-up game or some stand-up principles. And Randy Couture taught, and also training methods to increase his stamina. And Randy Couture taught Maurice Smith the grappling game and the ground game and how to escape. It's not that he wants to stay down there, but he taught him how to escape the ground game, how to escape from the wrestler and then knock him out. So there was an exchange. Randy Couture was diligent with that and trained under different strikers, trying to broaden his game. Ben Askren, he didn't do that. He just basically stuck to his wrestling. He said, I'm a wrestler, and this wrestling is going to get me through. And that's what it was. So Ben Askren did fight in MMA. Ben Askren did become an MMA champion, but he did it all with boxing. So Ben Askren was never... Wrestling. Ben Askren was never a true mixed martial artist. So don't nobody get it twisted.
I don't understand that argument. When mixed martial artist, you could be a boxer, you could be a jiu-jitsu, you could be whatever. Once you enter that octagon, you are a mixed martial artist, no matter what.
No. If
to
you
be fair,
hold on. Let me just say this, and then you, Jay. If you, Leighton, take an invitation to fight a mixed martial arts fight, that doesn't make you a mixed martial artist. That makes you a boxer. If you don't train mixed martial arts, that makes you a boxer who is in an MMA fight. And that has happened many times. That has happened many times. That's not unusual.
But I thought once you enter the octagon, you enter the mixed martial art octagon, which the rules are mixed martial art. So
you can call yourself. You can call yourself a mixed martial artist. You can call yourself a mixed martial artist because you had a mixed martial arts fight. But if you are not training mixed martial arts and you're not doing mixed martial arts, if you're sticking to your art, which is boxing, does that make you a mixed martial artist?
Yes, because you trained to fight, bro.
You walked into the octagon. Of course you have. You're in our octagon.
What would you say Damian Maya is, Ref? What would you say? He's just a jiu-jitsu guy or a mixed martial artist?
He's a mixed martial artist with a jiu-jitsu
base. So how is he any different than Ben Askren? He strikes
because he trained mixed martial arts. Ben Askren only trained his wrestling.
He must have trained over. He's got to have trained over.
I'm not saying he never trained mixed martial arts, but you can look at him. You look at his performances. Tell me, in which performance was he a mixed martial artist?
I agree.
He was a wrestler.
I agree.
He's a wrestler.
But I'm trying to say,
Damian Maya does the same stuff.
You walk in that octagon, you're a mixed martial artist. Simple as you walk out, you're a mixed martial artist.
So what's my man name? We just mentioned it before. The boxer who fought Randy Couture.
James Toney.
James Toney. James Toney has had a mixed martial arts fight. Is James Toney a mixed martial artist?
He's a boxer, but he has had a mixed martial arts fight.
Is James Toney a mixed martial artist?
No, he's a boxer, but he still had a
He's a boxer, but he's had a mixed martial arts fight, hasn't he?
Yeah, so if he had to say to someone, "Have you ever done mixed martial arts?" he could say, "Yes, I have."
But he's a boxer.
I agree, brother. But if
So
someone
he's a
said to
boxer
him,
who's done mixed martial arts, but he's not a mixed martial artist.
No, he's a boxer, Raf. You know that. I know that. But if someone said to him, "Have you done mixed martial arts, mate?" he could say, "Yeah, I have." So there you go.
Yeah, I have, but he ain't no mixed martial artist. He's a boxer. And I put it to you that Ben Askren, is he a mixed martial artist? What mixed martial arts skills does he display? Has he got a good punch? No.
He's got a weak jab. He's got a weak low kick. He's got a decent body kick. He throws other things in his wrestling, man, but it doesn't, just because his levels in that proficient, he's not proficient at that, doesn't mean he's not a full all around mixed martial artist, man. He is, bro. Like he's training for you. He was champion for 4 years. Come on, man.
I say what Jay Blue said. Exactly what Jay Blue said. I say the same.
Like it may look absolutely dreadful to watch him throw a spinning back fist or a left hook or a jab, but he trains it. He does it, man. It's not like he's just going in there shooting, halfway across the cage like Couture did.
Well, I'll put it to you. So that's 2 versus 1. That's most people agree that Ben Askren was a mixed martial artist. I say never. Never. But 2 are saying he was. So, there you go. Difference of opinion. To me, Ben Askren was a guy who found out he could, who believed his wrestling was good enough. And Mark Coleman, would you say he was a mixed martial artist? He was basically a pure wrestler who learned to throw a basic punch, who could do a basic kick. Yeah, I want to leave that one.
Coleman was a species. He was just a specimen.
He's an animal, dude.
That's what it was, bro.
Oh, I better get a picture of him up in
beast,
case. I better get a picture of him up in case people don't know.
Dude, I don't know how hardcore y'all are when it comes to like historical things in MMA, but do y'all remember when Mark Coleman won the Grand Prix K1?
I followed it from the beginning.
The skyscraper knees on Igor. You see him when he jumped up and tried to do the Eddie Guerrero. Like he jumped up and tried to get on the ropes, but he fell like an idiot because he's so stiff-bodied. It was the funniest thing, man. He was so excited, like I won.
I've seen it. Okay, let's bring up Mark Coleman.
That's a legend right there, man. That dude's a classic, bro.
He's the beginning of the UFC. He's one of the beginners, bro. He's one of the best.
The absolute scariest position to be in a fight, bar none, is on your back. You're fully mounted. Mark the Hammer Coleman has one wrist in each hand. Your hands spread apart, and he's just coming down with a headbutt, like sandwiching you in between the pavement. That's
they could headbutt back in the day, couldn't they? They could headbutt. There was a lot.
Yeah, that was his go-to.
Headbutts were allowed for sure. Samuel Wilder relied on the right hand and neglected all the other fundamentals of boxing the same way Ben relied solely on wrestling and neglected all other martial art disciplines. Yes.
No.
I'm talking my language, saying exactly the same thing that I'm saying. And it's truth. It's the truth. You can deny it all as much as you want, but it's same as Wilder. Well, the difference is with Wilder is that Wilder actually learned some of them things. I don't think Ben Askren ever dedicated himself to learning
the right hand. That's it. End of. Right hand after that.
So Wilder's better than Askren, bro.
Wilder left boxing.
I'm not saying Wilder's better than Askren. I'm saying we're talking about the principle. We're talking about the principle of someone who just narrows their game.
So now he's more dedicated than Ben Askren. Come on.
Come on,
man.
I'm saying it's the same thing. The both of them narrowed the game. The both of them narrowed their game. Wilder with the right hand, Askren with the wrestling. It ain't even debatable. How can you debate that?
Oh, Raph, bro.
How can you debate that?
You're reaching.
I'm not reaching for nothing. Ben Askren was a self-admitted wrestler. Self-admitted. That's what his focus was. Nobody can deny that.
He learned some acumen of striking.
Jay told you.
Jay, you're telling me he had some acumen of striking, but holy hell, did we see any striking acumen? Did we see any striking?
Yeah, enough to set up his takedown, man. Where's the extra? Where's the extra feints? Where's the extra dressing on Wilder's style to help him set up his right hand, or does he just step?
Well, that's
the
what we're
fool and
saying.
throw the 1-2?
That's what we're saying. They're the same boat. They're focused on one area, on one thing.
Raph, I'm not having that, mate. I love you.
What do you mean?
I'm
What
not
was
having that, son.
Wilder focused on other than on his right hand?
His missus.
OMG. OMG. Okay, so we got waylaid. We ended up talking about, well, it's not really waylaid. We're still talking about Askren. There's a difference of opinion, and that is cool and the gang. You know what I'm saying? It's cool in the gang. Or if we're talking about, you mentioned the specimen. Well, the specimen actually wasn't Mark Coleman. It was a different Mark. And it was Mark.
Oh, there we go. The smash machine. Look at him, bro.
He was the specimen.
Oh my God, look at his traps.
That's like, do you want my lunch money? You can have it. You know what I mean?
Hey, go one.
Oh, shizzle. I accidentally closed it down. Don't worry. I'll bring it back up.
Dude, that's another vicious caveman, like just gonna beat your head apart in the early days of MMA. Mark Kerr would he put a hurting on people, man. He would talk about if they had a cut, he would try to fish hook it and try to rip it open more with his thumb. Like, sick bastard, man.
Yeah.
Lethal, bro. Lethal.
Opening new tab. Okay, that's much better. Oh, let's size that down a little bit. So now we have both the Marks. Mark Coleman and Mark Kerr. This one on the right here, left of your screen, is called the Specimen. And both of them were on that you can't even see it. I'm not sharing it. I was talking about the picture. You can't even see the damn picture. Let me bring the picture up. I think you can see it now. Can you see me now?
Of course they were friends.
Coleman looks bigger. Coleman looks bigger. Coleman looks chestier, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Coleman looks chesty.
Dude, they were both some battle frogs back in the day, like just swole for the sake of being swole. Like they were trying to prove something, man. When it comes to supplementation in MMA, like it's Mark Kerr, Mark Coleman, and Bob Sapp. And dude, they all made each other look.
Bob was a beast, mate. Bob was a beast.
Bob made these guys look puny. Bob made these guys look undernourished. Oh my gosh, you got to see this picture. Am I sharing? Oh no, you can't even see what I'm seeing. Let me close that down and share this. This was the not the earliest days of the UFC, but early, relatively early. Early days. What's this? I've got some new comments up in here. Wilder does have a jab. It's how he sets up the right 99% of the time. Okay, so he's got two things. He's got the jab and the right. So let's say Askren's got the wrestling and the ground and pound. So yeah. So it's kind of similar. They got the narrow game is what I'm saying. Narrow game is what I'm saying. Very narrow game. I
got a shout out. Big up Carl Philip Roberts, my Welsh brother. He knows the score. Liam Williams. We're all in there together. Little fucking island we are. Sorry, Raph, I had to put that one out there. Nice one, Carl.
Hey, much appreciation goes out to the Leighton Evelyn. Leighton, always a pleasure to have you on. Much appreciation. Have you gone? Leighton?
I'm still here, brother. I'm still here.
Didn't you just say?
I thought you said.
Did okay?
Because you've seen Carl's thing, and Carl's my Welsh guy, isn't it?
I got you. I got you. I got you. I thought you was buying out.
A little island of 3 million people. Oh, there's 6 million people in London alone, and there's only little 3 million. Our whole little Wales. And we're there, mate. We're there. Do you know what I mean?
It was good. What your boy there did, Liam Williams. It was damn good. Can I blow this picture up or it's so complicated? Why is it always so complicated? Why can't I just press a Why can't I just press that button and make it go bigger? Or if I double click, then it goes somewhere else. Okay, that's no good. Okay, so what are we saying? What are we saying? What are we saying? Okay, I think that's it. I think we've covered it. Went longer than I expected. OMG, is that the time? Okay, guys, we went away from the Triller thing. We ended up talking about martial arts, but that's okay because that's what we do. We have conversations, and we have people listening and participating in our conversations. But no sponsor of the show. I'm looking in the chat there. I don't think anybody sponsored the show today. Tut, gentlemen. You've enjoyed the show, did you not? Did you not enjoy the fare? Did you not enjoy the conversation? Okay.
Where's James Jameson, bro? I haven't seen him for a while.
Where's James? James was here a couple of days ago. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this, but I think that James got kidnapped by the pigeon. I'm not sure, but I think that James got kidnapped by the pigeon. James, if you have not been kidnapped by the pigeon, please let it be known. But we've got our suspicions. That there's rumors and rumors of rumors. I don't know.
No, listen, Raph, I like James. I've been trying to get him on because I'm Welsh. I'm talking all the English. I want a Scottish guy to come in so people can hear his accent as well as the Welsh accent. Do you know what I mean?
He should.
So it'll change us all up. But I keep telling him, come on, James, come on. Do you know what I mean?
Come on down, James. Come on down. Maybe he'll come on down when Josh Taylor fights. If Pigeon releases him. You know what I'm saying? So Pigeon, you have to let us know. Let us know what the ransom is, and we'll have a whip round. And you have to deduct the £20 that you owe, or is it the tenner? Whatever. £20 that you owe.
What's going on with the fight doctor? Is he still not paying out about this Joshua fight, bro? Because I put his bet.
Well, it's been when it gets announced officially, then the fight doctor's gonna have to stump up, my friend.
He better stump up because I bet him. I bet him personally. I said if he don't pay, I'll pay. I'll pay.
Hey, when absolutely. Hey, when it becomes official, then I'm sure the fight doctor will, come on through.
Any other man would have just paid up by now because you know what's happening. Do you know what I mean? But like,
the fight doctor wants him to cross the I's and dot the T's. That's what the fight doctor.
So what's he actually waiting for, Raph? Is he waiting for
the official announcement? Official announcement.
So when we have posters and we have that, and that's it. He's paying up. Yeah?
When it's official announcement, when it says the date and venue, when the date and venue is officially announced, then boom. Then that's the time.
This was my bet for you. Because I said I would have paid if he wasn't paid. I would have paid. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. So he needs to pay up. He needs to pay up.
Well, when we get the official announcement, then boom. And it's all cool and the gang. But in the meantime, we've done it. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio, joined by the Leighton Evelyn and the J Blues. J Blues, thanks for jumping on, my friend. We had some
great to get up with you, man.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Yeah, Leighton Evelyn.
Hey, you got your own channel, brother?
Yeah, man. Everybody go check out J Blues Radio. I do open topic, comedy, movie, hangout, good boxing talk, and my music.
That was J Blues. He finally got it out. J Blues, much appreciation. Go check him out. J Blues, enjoy the rest of your evening and speak to you soon, my good man.
All right. Peace out, Joe.
Peace out. Nice one, that was the J Blues, the final words from Leighton Evelyn. Oh, that was his final words. Okay, Leighton Evelyn's got his final words out. Peace out. Okay. And where we are now. Yeah, fight doctor's paid up in the past. He will deliver. He will deliver. Okay, folks. So that was it. That was us chopping up the thing. It kind of took a turn. We came to a fork in the road and we went straight. You can trust the guy with the bet even if you have to Google him. 100, even have to Google definitions for 2 hours just to clarify the meaning of a bet. Yes. Okay. Great conversation. What the hell was the topic? Live reaction to hilarious Ben Askren versus Jake Paul first round KO or TKO. spirited conversation, and that's what you get. You never know what you're gonna get when you click on to the Raphael Dawkins, to the Combat Radio, to the Boxing Talk with Rafa. You never quite know what you're gonna get, and that's the beauty of it. Always keep it moving, always keep it fresh. New topics by the day. And much thanks. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. It's all free. And we'll speak more in the week. In the meantime, it's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. We are out. Blessed.